Alrighty, and here's the video review for Cyberverse Commander PREDAKING. You can see his dragon mode is not great. I mean, it's not bad, it's not horrible, but just since his back legs don't bend at all, he kind of hunches in dragon mode. And there's nothing wrong with that. I've seen plenty of dragons that are drawn to kind of have that hunch. It's just just slightly awkward. But again, it's a Cyberverse Commander toy, which is not, you can see it's not a giant toy. And for what it is, it's really kind of cool. I'm quite happy with him. I saw Bulkhead and Optimus there, and like Bulkhead, I'm not super excited by. I know people are all super excited about the Skyrim Bulkhead or whatever, and he looked okay. And the Optimus, just he may have a fun transformation, but he really just doesn't look good. I mean, his face looks mushed, and it's just weird. But PREDAKING looks pretty cool, so I picked him up. And I like that there's a lot of little analogs between this and the Voyager class. Not exactly, but there's some neat little similarities. First off is the tail becomes the weapon. In this case, it's a gun. I did trim this missile down to about right here because it's just a standard ball through a socket pressure point missile. And it was so long that it was interfering with posability in robot mode and kind of hard to put into dragon mode because you had to get that just right. So I trimmed off about that much of the missile. But anyway, that plugs off the back. It just plugs right in there in between the legs. And you take the legs, and you pop them right off the body! Because that's what we do. Yep, that's how we do here. Normally they don't do that, but since I'm shooting the video, they do that. See, but you just pop them loose like that. And then the legs, much like on the Voyager, just fold in behind there. Again, they're not duplicate legs or seemingly duplicate legs. They do fold in from the outside on each side, but yeah, they fold in and then you flip the feet down. You come up here and you bring the arms down and rotate them the other way here at the forearm, and then flip the hand up. There is a nice elbow joint there as well. He's got some really nice joints, knee joints, ball jointed hips, posable feet a little bit. Ball joint shoulders, hinge elbows, and he does have that forearm swivel, plus a little bit of movement there in the wrist just for transformation. And then the shoulder pads are also on some articulation as well. So flip the arms around, then you lift this whole panel up, rotate the head around. Now the official transformation, you can fold this down, bring the wings up, and just leave the dragon head here on the back, which sticks out a lot. And I think the wings look really cool. I think he looks really cool with the wings. He's kind of like a hobgoblin transformer from Spider-Man, and I love his colors. And he's colored, like PREDAKING too, the orange and yellow and black. But I like the wings. Now, officially, if you follow the instructions to transform this part, you're supposed to spread this out to the side and lower this whole backpack down like this, and then these come down and just kind of sit here to the sides as like lower wings here. And that's just kind of meh. So, and I think Hard Return is the first person to figure this out. I'm not positive on that. I've seen several people do it, and I figured it out just before people started posting. I said, like, help me, how do you do this? And then I figured out how to do it, like, right as people started posting pictures. But looking back, I think Hard Return gets the credit for figuring this out. But if you actually take this and take this backpack, and instead of folding it down like this, kind of flip it here past the, kind of bring this out, flip it up so these ball joints come up past the, again, you want to make sure these are kind of out of the way here. Up past that, so it's upside, this part almost turns upside down from where it's supposed to be. You can actually take these and on their ball joints, flip them up, and have them as kind of secondary wings up behind the orange ones. And I think that looks awesome. I think that kind of gives him that look of the, and then you can position the wings behind that. And since they're on ball joints, you can get them to fit just right. And that gives them kind of the look of the kind of, orange wings with the black spine that we've seen on the big, I don't think they're calling them Power Risers anymore. The Ultimate version. Is that what they're calling those? Ultimate Prime and Ultimate PREDAKING? I can't remember it, but the big versions of Prime and PREDAKING, he actually has the black spines. And I think he's going to have them in the show too. I think they just didn't paint him on the Voyager, but it gives him a much more coherent wing, like spiky winged look, which is really cool. And then the gun can just be held in his hand. And again, part of the reason I cut the missiles because before it would just stick straight up here, and it limited the movement of that elbow. And it still does a little bit. I mean, like if this were shorter, you could flip this up a little bit higher. I mean, if you lift that up, you can get it up higher. But it does now retain some of that movement in the elbow, where before it just kind of kept the arm straight. So you can have him bend his arm a little bit with that gun in it. So yeah, he's really, really neat. I really like him. And just a real quick size comparison with Twin Strike there. So he looks like he's going to fit in really nice with the rest of the Terracons and Abominus scale-wise. And I'm really looking forward to that. So, but yeah, there he is, Cyberverse Commander PREDAKING.